back to Leylon after effing up our adventure with the ship. I mean, we succeeded, but also the ship left before we could save that unknown bard.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went back to town, discussed everything we knew, and I think we somehow decided that an army of the undead is likely going to be showing up soon. There's a rogue necromancer who's part of a cult of necromancers.
Well, we're on our way to Neverwinter.
Yes. So we decided to, against my better judgment, split up, with Zith wanting to go into the swamp and to the mirror to see if he can find anything about the other tombs and about Uluran Mortis, while the rest of us decided we need to go to Neverwinter, my hometown, by the way, and see if we can get Lord Neverember to send more troops, money, supplies, whatever we can get.
Go begging. You're off on a begging trip.
Yes.
Yes, pretty much.
That's right.
And although I did send him a letter beforehand,
Give a little cardboard sign.
Please.
so he does know we're coming, which I feel is probably better than him not knowing we're coming.
But I forgot what was our hook to give him for him to give us. What's our
army of the undead about to show up properly?
That's right. We're
Yeah,
going to have
yeah.
train the soldiers in we're going to provide. I was suggesting that we provide a field for the soldiers to train in. So this way, we would have a contingency of soldiers there. We give them a place to train, and God forbid if anything should happen, they give us protection.
Yep.
Right? Okay, we got that.
Part, but
Yeah, I had said that, Actually, I want to raise this so you guys can see me better. Any of you guys ever read Anne McCaffrey's stuff?
I've heard of her. I don't think I've read her.
The name is familiar.
Dragon Riders.
Yeah, Dragon Riders of Pern.
Did you? I tried reading that book.
I could never get past the first chapter.
Jesus, thank you. I'm like
lightning bolts. Lightning is coming down. They're flying in the light. Okay, that's fine. Boring.
I'm like, they're what, 28 books? I collected. I'm selling all of them because I read the first few chapters. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I couldn't get.
Wait, you bought all of the books and only committed to like 2 chapters?
No, I bought over the couple last years. I've been buying them at thrift stores.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sorry, Anne. That's the one. That's the one author that watches this whole stream, and
now you lost. You're the only viewer.
Now you've insulted her.
I mean, I love Dune, and Dune is very dry, but I do love Dune. But I'm like, this is so far from what I thought it was going to be. And I had a girlfriend.
Yeah, it took too long to get to something interesting.
Okay, so it's not me then. Okay, I don't feel.
It just didn't. It didn't keep me. It didn't captivate me.
Oh, the only reason I'm bringing it up because the book I got to raise the camera so you guys can see my beautiful face is.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Dragon
Riders. I've always had one problem with Aragon, personally.
Aragon, yeah.
During the first book, they prophesied like there's going to be this big epic romance, and it never pans out.
Maybe they meant that for the sequel.
Before they get together.
Aragon, I haven't read that yet. But it's with the dragons, right?
Yeah, the blue, green, red, and green one.
And it's mainly it's young adult. It's Cat is a young adult, right?
Yeah, young adult.
Yeah. Which I like to call young adult is they do everything except the one adult thing that all adults do. I'm not going to say that.
Hey, we can't be giving team's ideas that they will definitely follow through with.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
though they
I
already
love.
know about it, they're going through with it.
I'll just go off of one more tangent. It's like Clowns in the Field. I love it, but I don't think it should be I don't think it should be a young reader's book. My opinion. Great series though.
You want to hear something crazy? Speaking of Dune, I work at a library, so Dune is in our juvenile fiction section.
Juvenile, huh? They think it's good for teens to read, 12, 13-year-olds?
Well,
The book's too
We have
thick.
a
There are
young-
very few people that would
we
read
have
that.
a young adult section, which is probably where it should
Oh,
be.
that's where it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not, or
in high
beyond.
Yeah,
Just
I think
put
read
it
it
over
should be
in
in the
I've
adult
read
fiction
science
section.
fiction. Yeah.
I've read it
Yep.
5 times. Yeah. It's the most read book. Okay, so let's get rid of the horseman or the beholder. Let's just zap him.
Yeah,
Is
let's
that-
let's see. Let's see how
Who's
this
not-
goes.
Who's knocked out there in the road? I forget.
That is the guy that went to get water.
Oh, well.
This water guy.
So he had a red shirt on, and well,
We'll see. We shall see.
He's from
All right.
a sort of southern village that specializes in water magic.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to ask you all to roll initiative.
so I used the little. Oh, maybe I could get used to it.
I am right before the beholder.
Oh, BKB. Guess what? It's, it had to happen sooner or later, Tad, where Ezra actually got to go first.
That's right. Let us
So-
not forget the time that I rolled a 0 and got a 0.1 initiative.
Exactly.
Screenshot that.
Did I feel like we talked about it. I don't know if anyone actually did. All right, let's see. What should we do?
Well, can we see?
I've never.
So before we actually get started, why don't we start
Mhm.
first with each of your characters telling me what you know about beholders? What have you heard? What have you seen? Probably not seen because you probably wouldn't have survived it, but you probably have heard stories because they're always known to be very powerful monsters of legend, right? So let's start. Kineas. What does Kineas know about what's on the other side of that bridge right now?
So first of all, I fought something similar, but not the same to it before. I think it was called a spectator.
Oh yeah, this looks like a big brother to that, maybe, or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know that it has those ice stalks are are very powerful. They shoot magic. I'm not sure what sort of magic they'll shoot at me, but I know
So they one-shotted your monk, right?
Yeah. I know it's probably it's a giant floating eyeball head. So not fun.
Okay.
And
What
it's
does
obviously not something from this world.
Okay. Yeah.
This dimension.
All right, Robbie. What does Ozus know about this thing floating in the air on the other side of the bridge, kind of in the dim? It's in the dim dark across the bridge from you. Kineas can see it pretty clearly, but it's outside of your dark vision range. But you can still see it in the crappy moonlight that's out there. It's a crescent moon.
Well, in my village, they had a word to describe a beholder. It's called run.
That's what you heard, right? Run.
We're talking just run. I just know they're very, they're very powerful, and it's going to be one hell of a fight unless it wants something from us. And at that point, then it's going to be a bunch of negotiation.
Yes, we will see. Good. All right. And tell me, Tad, what does Ezra know?
Ezra only would know about beholders from myth. He's a learned priest, and he would only know that they have the physical features, Cyclops with eye stalks, very powerful, but wouldn't know that they were real. Only that he would only believe them to be a myth. But seeing it with his own eyes would change that thought process. Kind of one of those things where you can't believe it until you can see it.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is Oz's first time running into one, correct?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I think Ralzik ran into him at the mansion because Ralzik died shortly.
That would have been the spectator that Kineas ran into.
Yeah, you
Right.
you were there with me. We came
No,
around the same.
Ralzik. It was
Ralzik-
Ozus. No, it was Ozus because Kineas was not. Kineas was there, right? Or are you talking about? Was this Bright song?
So, Kineas never knew Ralzik. Bright Song
Right.
did.
And you're sure Kineas was the one that? Very possible, but
that I do remember.
Oh, it was
That
Kineas?
I remember.
so then it would be
I was trying
Ozus.
I was making some amazing stealth checks to try to ambush this thing, and it did not work.
There you go.
Well, I remember that.
So it had been Ozus that encountered this thing underneath the. Yep.
We didn't defeat it. That much I do remember.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We did not defeat it.
You did.
No, we did.
It was tough.
And the
Okay.
abomination with it.
It killed the monk outright, but then the monk got back up again. Remember?
Right. Okay. Yes. The monk in the mist.
He did the whole Chumbawamba thing.
Yes. Well, then this one will Oz first introduced. Yes. Okay. So this is the first time Ozus was at the group. He was putting up posters at the tavern. This is coming back to me.
Right.
But Ralzik had also ran into him because didn't they go there first and then?
It wasn't there. You've only encountered it one time.
Okay.
And that was after the shrine, because you caught vision from the shrine that after you guys died and then you went back to the shrine.
Right.
So it was actually after you'd gone back to the shrine and fought your undead counterparts and then returned to town because you had learned that something was set free from underneath the thing. And then that's when
So Ralzik was at the mansion but never went inside the mansion. He died after that. And then Ozus came to town with the posters. And okay, so that's how it went.
Yeah. That was a while ago. That was like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Almost 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ezra, you have not ever seen anything like this before. It is literally a hideous floating head. But not really a head. It's more like I don't know. It's like a weird amorphous blue with eye stalks coming out the top like snails that have eyes on them. And there's a really big central eye and a big mouth, and yeah, it looks nasty. Just like what you can see, except you're having a hard time seeing that far.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a rough time using a ranged attack or a spell attack on it until you get closer.
Yeah. So it knows we're here, obviously. And how far apart are we from this
It's on the
creature?
other side of the bridge, and you can't see the other side of the bridge very well. And so he's
Okay.
there, but he's in shadow. Like this is very, very dim moonlight.
Okay. Um.
There is, however, someone laying in the middle of the bridge that was at the camp with you. And so there's that.
I would. Ezra would call out to the guy at the bridge to try and see if he's okay. Like, hey, what? Are you okay? You need help? See if he would respond.
He seems to not be moving. Could be dead,
Great.
might be unconscious.
Okay. Um. So I think Ezra would probably move up a few paces, and I would ready my crossbow in case anything came at me, and I would kind of hold my action um, to that, and I'd end my turn.
Okay. So you're kind of holding your action. So you're waiting.
Yeah,
And so whenever you ready an action, it's called ready. And when you do
yeah,
that, you
You
need
need-
to define the trigger at which
okay.
your chosen action will be used. So what would be the trigger for your action, and what's your action?
Oh, I can see that there's a shadowy figure across the bridge, correct?
Yeah, you know. Yeah. You guys could
Yeah.
see him before you went up on the
Okay.
bridge. He was on a horseback, and so he's
Okay.
got some, yeah, definitely some features that make it easy to see who he is.
So my hold action, I would ready. I would fire from my crossbow if the enemy comes closer, if that shadowy figure moves forward.
Comes into clear view, you will,
Yeah.
or within your dark vision, you're going to go ahead and
Yep.
fire a crossbow bolt at it. Very good. All right.
Yep.
That's perfect. All right. So you're being held when he comes into view. We will come back to you and let you use your saved action.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on. Ozus, you're up next. Kineas the Slowpoke this time around.
I'm going to move forward to the person down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now you can see clearly the beholder across the bridge now. You've moved close enough that it's your dark vision is giving you a better image of who he is. It's still without color, of course, and without anything else, but you've now come into view. Which means very clearly it can see you.
Right. I guess what I'll. No, that's concentration. Well, I, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians on myself, and then end my turn. Oh, wait, is that right? No, that's not what I want. No, it's Shield of Faith is what I want to cast on myself.
Okay.
And then I'll end my turn. Let me do that.
All right. That would be a Shield of Faith.
Should I apply active effects? Should I
Yeah,
do
sure.
that?
Yep.
Okay.
And then also your convenient effect too.
Is it too late to do that? And then I'll end my turn. Did it end my turn? It won't let me end my turn. Why? Oh, okay. Here you go. Oh,
There you go. All right, Kineas. You are up, sir.
Okay. Advancing. Kinea is being a little bit paranoid from that story last night. That headless horseman, and already was expecting to find some sort of horrifying undead abomination. Instead, found a living head thing.
Yep.
So he'd already
Indeed.
cast protection from evil and good on himself. And now, well, now his friends are running into battle, so he can have to do what he's best at this point.
Okay. You can certainly see
I'm gonna take the dash
the
action.
threat further up. Yep.
And I'm gonna get right here, and then I'm going to use Giant Smite.
Alrighty. So, gonna take it on in its own size.
Yep, that's my thing. Make sure I'm big enough so that way I am now blocking my friends from its line of sight.
Maybe. Yep. All right. And that's it?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, very good. My turn.
Not letting me in my turn.
It won't? There you go. It
What
worked.
just happened?
Was there just a delay or something?
I guess so.
Okay, so immediately the first thing that this creature is going to do is chuckle maniacally while 3 of its eye beams go off at you altogether. I'd like you to roll 1d6, Patrick, 3 times.
Joy. Okay. First one, I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Second one, I rolled a 5.
oh, that's right. It's
Third, rolled a 1.
All right, so let's begin first. You're going to need to, let's see, a saving throw, DC 14 con save. From
I've got
one of its
terrible.
eyes shoots out a freezing ray. It reminds you a great deal of your encounter with Cryovane. I recall some breath weapon being used on you at some point.
That's a 12.
So a 12, yeah, that's not so great. Needed to be a DC 14, so we're going to do some damage to you in the form of 5d6 damage. So that's 24 cold damage, Patrick. 24 cold damage.
Yep. Oh.
The second eye ray is a paralyzing ray. This comes out again almost in waves of like almost like acid or something like that. It kind of seems greenish and kind of gaseous in nature as it shoots out at you from this eye stalk. And so it is a paralyzing ray, and you need to make a DC 14 con save. Ta-da!
Natural
Nice.
20.
Nice. Good job. Okay. Now, the third ray is also a freezing ray. So I'm going to want you to make a saving throw to take half damage. Also, your speed was halved. This might halve it again.
DC 14.
All right. So you're going to take half damage. So the damage on this one is 17. So that's 8 more points of damage, and you're now at quarter speed.
Wait, I take it. I get. I'm affected by the half speed again after I pass.
You're halved and then halved again.
Yeah. It, even though I pass is my question.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. You did save. I was busy already pre-calculating my math, so you're right. Thanks for calling that out. Good catch. You're only at half speed.
Okay. And so I'm taking 17 points of damage or half that.
Half that, so 8. So the first damage was 24, and then 8 more on top of that for a total of 32 damage.
Yeah, I think for the first time one was very much, like, oh shit, what the fuck? Oh,
Yeah. Second time, you were already kind of numb, so.
yeah, it's like, oh wait, I know how to deal with this. Just
Yeah,
kind of
right. There you go.
conjure that inner celestial fire.
Absolutely. Yes. So, all right. So with that, I think it is going to. Also, so that's yep. So it's going to move, and it's going to actually try to fly out. So it's out up in the air, and flying out
Wouldn't
aside
that
the bridge.
trigger my attack?
Yeah, if you can see it now, yeah. Oh yeah, you can. Yep, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Fire away, sir.
Right.
Do your best, Katy Perry. Is that Katy
Right.
Perry? Oh, a crit! There you
Ooh.
go.
That should hit.
That I think that does. That does just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Critical hit.
Wow, with max
Hey.
damage.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
Way to
Installed
go.
a mod onto my computer so I get the best rolls today. So
Is that it? That works. That mod is good. You should spread
right.
that around.
That's right.
All right, so what happens is you hit it, and it goes right into its eye, which is interesting because the eye sort of like,
The middle eye.
yeah, sort of
Okay.
kind of fades back. And as it fades back, what you end up seeing is this thing that looks like a dragon.
Oh.
So I'm going to update the token so that it looks like what it's supposed to look like now.
You need it. It looks like a dragon.
It has wings and a big body, and it's in its mouth, which seems perpetually open, is a large eye, which you didn't hit. You actually hit above its neck. Its head was down lower, and you hit above its neck into its body. But these other eyes, it's not flapping its wings. They're just kind of there, right? And they're moving around. It's like almost like it's flapping, but they aren't flapping. And you notice at the end of each part of its wing is an eyeball, like it's an eye stalk. So
This thing with a deep fate.
maybe.
I mean, we thought it was a horseman, then we thought it was a beholder. Now
That's
it's
right.
whatever.
Now it's even, who knows what the hell it is. You might actually in your imagination you might think that it's got horns, it's got the kind of almost like the body of a dragon. You might think that this is some combination between a beholder and a dragon. It's not getting better, right? This doesn't sound a whole lot better.
No, it's worse.
Great.
All right, Ezra, you get to go again now that you've kind of flickered away whatever the illusion was that was covering him.
Mhm.
And now you can see him for perhaps, maybe, what he truly is. If you hit him with another critical hit, maybe he'll turn into something else. Like even worse, like a multi-headed, multi-eyed dragon. It'll be a Tiamat and a beholder. Maybe that's it.
Great.
Keep hitting it.
Okay.
It gets worse every
So,
time.
yeah, wonderful. All right, I will move up a couple paces. And then I will target the creature
Mhm.
with guiding bolt.
Okay. Perfect. There's
Yep.
nothing
Okay.
guided about that bolt. We should
Yeah.
rename that
It
spell
could
to
only last for so long.
random bolt. All right. So completely missed with that. Sorry to hear
Okay.
that.
I would probably say shit and go. All right, guys. You guys are up. You hit him. I got the one hit in.
I turned it into a dragon. You take it from here.
Yeah, that's right. You're welcome, guys. On to the next.
All right. Well, that brings us to Ozus with his shield of faith up.
I'm gonna flame strike him.
Oh. Bringing the full force of Kasuth to bear
Yes.
comes a big flame strike. All right.
Now, do I damage or do you roll first?
You go ahead and roll the damage, and then I'll roll the save. All right. Oh, yeah. It looks like we're missing some of our automation. I'm sorry. I didn't. I got some other things done, but not the automation. All right. So this is a what level spell? I mean, what's
It's
the
a fifth
DC?
level, and the DC I thought was Dex is 16.
Okay. So we can make a dex save. Let's see.
Ah,
Nope, that misses.
Okay.
So he'll take 33 points of damage. It flaps around inside there a little bit and then gets pissed off.
just pissed off, huh?
Yeah.
And then do I want a bonus action here? Uh, $60 feet. Yeah, I'll do a bonus action with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Oh no! I can't. It's flame strike is a bonus action. It says you've used your bonus action this round. Do you want to proceed anyway? Hang on a second. No. Is flame strike a bonus action?
Nope, says one action. So maybe it thought your bonus action was still on there from when you put your shield of faith on. So let's remove that. That's what that yellow star icon is.
Okay.
So go into your actions and delete that.
Okay.
There you go. And you have like 2 shields of faith for some reason.
It did that last time too.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll get rid of one of them. It's fine. All right. You're good.
You're selected. It still says you have used your bonus action this round.
Okay.
I'm
So can you just bypass it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Apply active effects, correct?
And then pick a square or a corner within that range. It'll put
There.
your... There you go. Perfect. He can be taught.
And now, how do I? What did we say? It was 1d8.
Yeah. So you have to use a d20 plus 8, and then it's a d8 plus 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's your wisdom bonus.
So it was d20 plus 8, correct?
I guess, or 6. I don't remember. Something like that. It's whatever your proficiency plus your wisdom modifier to hit.
No. I just don't want to hold this up.
So it would be like probably plus 7. You have a 3 proficiency modifier. Is that right?
I have a plus 4.
Okay, so then you're right. It is plus 8.
It is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Nice. All right, so that misses. So it wasn't nice enough, sorry, but it was nice.
And that turn.
All right, so
It's
Caneus,
cool.
you're up now. What do you want to do?
It won't let me end the turn.
Weird.
Well,
It's
first
just
I
taking a
forgot-
while. It was happening for me too.
They're just
Okay.
delayed.
I forgot to roll on concentration for my
Ow.
protection from evil
My
and
best
good.
for
Okay.
So it's a 12 and a 17. So I still got the spell up.
Good.
Okay, now I got my swords out. So I'm thinking at this point, I mean, really comes closer. Yes, I think I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna target it and cast. I'm gonna sheath one of my blades. And 15. I'll cast Sacred Flame. One moment, it says I'm targeting myself again.
Where's Ezra? Where's Todd? Where's Todd's token?
Right next to you.
It's next to yours.
It's not showing up on my
It,
Okay.
for some reason, rolled damage without actually rolling to hit.
So I think Sacred Flame, doesn't that require a saving throw? I think that
Yes, the
that
dexterity
requires a saving throw. And so if I make it, I don't take any damage. I think that's
Yeah,
how
the
that
DC
works.
my
Yeah.
spell save DC is 13.
Okay. Oh, 3 damage.
You take 3 radiant damage.
Yep.
And because I
Shong.
know what's going to come next, I'm going to use Second Wind. Unfortunately, I have to use this without Anea.
Oh, yeah.
I did not think to summon her immediately.
Mm.
So that's 20 plus 18, that's 38 points of healing.
Oh,
Okay,
Now
cool.
I'm measly 38. How am I supposed to get by with that?
Okay.
And
My
in my
turn?
turn, I will. Yeah, I'll just move 10 feet over here.
Perfect.
That'll end me.
That was a lot. 33.
That was weird. All right. So it moves closer and it says something with some very grumbly with a very grumbly voice. Something like back off. All right, and then it actually opens its mouth a little bit further, and the eye looks at you, kind of looks around a little bit, and then suddenly all of these like microwave, like a heat wave, kind of woo 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 woo, kind of with a little bit of a sheen of like a rainbow to it, like oil on water, comes flying out of its mouth in a big cone, like it's breathing on you. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this.
Anti.
Your spell immediately ends. You are no longer protected from evil and good. Let's see. So the anti-magic, let's see. So it emits magic wave in a 30-foot cone. Each creature that is in the area must make a DC 14 con saving throw or take 6d12 force damage.
Oh my fucking God. Oh, excuse me. Oh man.
On a failed save or half as much on a successful save. Every spell of 3rd level or lower ends on the creature and object of this
Okay.
attack.
I
So
don't have to.
your spell is done. I'm putting out a cone so we can measure 30 feet.
Oh wait,
Jim,
what?
I'm big and in the way. Does my body and I'm like right where the
No,
cone
it
starts.
goes right. It just goes right through you. Let's see you. Let's see you make a save though. It may push you off the bridge.
Oh, there goes my spiritual weapon. Good thing we're not walking on water.
All right, so you make your save. You'll take half the damage. So mind you, hold up on that. All right, Ozus, make your save, and Ezra, make your save.
Sorry, what type of save?
A DC 14 con save.
Oh man.
Constitution, okay.
Oh shoot. So I take 39 damage.
You're gonna take 6d12. I'm gonna roll that in just a second.
And I just take half of that.
Oh, now there's the 33 again, huh?
It's 33. So if you make your save, you'll take half of that, which
16.
is what, 16.
16, yeah.
So it could have been 39. Good thing I didn't roll as well as the average. It was a below average breath attack.
That hurt a lot. But my spiritual weapon's okay because it wasn't in the cone. Not in the cone.
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking that it might not be okay because you're the source of the magic.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
So any spell under 3rd level or less disappears.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
All right, and then
So my shield of faith or anything that would have
that's gone.
No, I mean that wouldn't have protected me though. I didn't use it.
No, it actually just that whole blast is probably one of the reasons why you were kind of hunkering down behind your shield of faith, like I got this, and it just eroded your shields of faith that are kind of going around you or whatever that looks like, and
So my shield of faith. Where is my shield of faith? My shield of faith is 1st level, so that's gone too. Then.
Yep. All magic that isn't enchanted into an item, any active spell is gone. And you take that force damage. So, Kanesh, you took half.
Yeah.
Also, make your concentration. Oh, you don't have to keep a spell going. Never mind. Duh. All right. So there you go. Ended the spell for you. And Ezra, you're up.
Okay. And I'm thinking here. What spell do I want to use?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
Do I want to try and banish this thing, guys, or do we think that that's
Yeah,
a
banish.
waste
Yes.
of a spell? Okay.
Do it.
We will try it. Let's say a few holy things and hopefully try to.
I abjure thee. Okay. So it needs to make a saving throw. What kind of saving
Charisma
throw?
saving throw. I don't know why it automatically just banished your character.
Oh, because you had just applied the active effect.
Oh, sorry. That
That's
might
okay.
be why, yes.
No, that's fine. I'm like, that's weird. All right, let's see if he can make a charisma saving throw. Attribute, charisma, saving throw, normal. Man, he's been rolling really lousy.
Hey, you're
So he's like,
banished.
he just disappears.
Oh, he's gone?
Yeah, he is banished.
Oh,
Man just waits and this thing just vanishes out of reality right in front of him.
high five.
What the heck?
Oh, man, you just saved us. Where's that bridge? What is
That
your
was
favorite?
really, really convenient that I've been rolling okay so far, and Jim has not. So I guess it's still my turn. I would try and go up to this gentleman here
Yeah.
and
Oh,
check to see if
Yeah.
it's conscious or not. I would try and shake it awake, or try and feel a pulse, do anything.
He
So
appears to be paralyzed.
we're not out of battle order yet, are we?
Not yet. Got 10 rounds. And that thing
yeah.
comes back.
So I can't really. I was gonna try and see. Is this guy? Is he like cursed, or is it just he's paralyzed?
Yeah, he's paralyzed, so
Okay. I can't really do anything to like help him out probably till next
anything
turn
that can
anyway,
help a
so.
constitution saving throw, maybe, or something along those lines. Otherwise, you could pick him up and carry him. He doesn't appear to be dead. He just can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Let's get out of here. Let's pick him up and get out of here.
Yeah, that's my thought as well.
Is that thing gone forever?
No, we got 10 rounds.
No, it'll come back eventually, but I can't really do a whole lot for this guy, so maybe we should probably get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I would say that would be our best bet, is to pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anything in my bag of tricks to pull him out of it.
I mean, I can't have his paralyzed. I can give him a low grade healing, so none of you have to waste the spell slot.
He
No,
looks a
but-
little wounded, but he's not dying.
I don't think
from
we
it.
really need to heal him. If we can't fix his paralysis, the best bet is to pick him up, take him elsewhere, and see if there's anyone else or anything else that can probably help him out.
Are you going to pick him up?
Sure. I just pick him up and sling him over my shoulder.
Okay, then I'm moving up to there. And I am going to ready a firebolt. If anything pops out that's not friendly, I'm snapping it. Is there a way to do that on the sheet to ready it? Do they have that? Is it like Avray has a ready?
So if you ready is an action, and what the action is it lets you prepare a trigger and an action, right? And if the trigger happens, the action happens. The caveat here is when you cast a spell, the spell is cast no matter what. You just have to. So in other words, if nothing happens and it's your turn again, you lose the spell.
So the cantrip is considered a spell.
Yes, but now cantrips, you can. Yes, so this, I thought you said fireball.
No,
So
can't. No,
firebolt. Yeah, so
firebolt.
that's perfectly fine because you'll cast the spell and it just doesn't ever happen. You don't actually fire the spell, but you cast it. But that's okay because you can cast it over and over again.
So
Easy.
there's nothing in here for me to do it as a ready
No.
action. Okay.
No, we would just play that out.
Okay.
So no problem. This
So
is
let's
keeping it. We have to make sure we don't make this a video game, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I hit an end turn.
Okay. Kineas?
Okay, well, for my turn,
Pick
I'm
him
gonna
up.
pick up this random person, who am I thinking of as Water Dude, and I'm taking Water Dude to the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, if he's evil, you can just toss him into the river. He's back, just throw him into the river.
Fair point.
And I only have half speed currently, so that's about
No.
as
We're
far as
going
I can
across the bridge. We're going across the bridge.
go.
Are you going to go back to the camp where you were, or you have not been to the other side of that bridge yet?
Oh, I would have. Oh,
I'm leaving this.
We
dude
should
on this side of the
probably go
bridge.
back.
okay.
Yeah, we
okay.
should
I
probably
am
go
more
back
than
to the
happy to
camp.
go to the- Oh no, I'm more than happy to go to the other side. I just not with this dude.
Okay, so let's
Not
go
with
back.
Water Dude.
Let's go back to the camp. And what we'll do is we'll tell Zith next week when he catches up to this. There's nothing wrong with this bridge. You can leave the, you can go home.
It's a great bridge. Feel free.
To clean up the
Yeah,
blood
before you
stains.
To watch this video and say, I don't think so.
Yeah, before
Okay.
I do that, with my exceptional eyesight, do I see anything on the other side of the bridge that looks interesting?
No, not anything particularly interesting. It's pretty clear. Down. It looks like there's kind of this old road, which is kind of like what you took to get down here, right? You found this really old cemetery, and just this old, out of use road that led to this bridge, which is a lot more corroded. There, it looks like there may have been statues and stuff like that to it. It's crumbled, and this is clearly a forgotten bridge, right?
But at one time it was the
It was the bee's knees
it
for
was
getting across that river. Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think we should leave this horror? If it's gonna be back in less than a minute.
You picked up the man, right?
Yeah,
No.
I picked him up.
Okay. He's not with you.
Oh, you did.
I can't
Okay, good.
move him, but I can't move his token, but he's with me. He's over my shoulder
Okay.
currently.
Okay. That'd be great if they had a carry function.
There is a token attacher, but I haven't figured out how to use it yet. Yeah, and then you can do that, but yeah.
It's where you hold the keyboard and another hand, and then your other hand.
You could make vehicles work that way, where you get in a vehicle and then it just holds you there while you move the vehicle around.
I mean, guys, here's what my thoughts on this thing is. In less than a minute, that thing is coming back, and it's going to be pissed at us.
Correct.
Well, let's run.
And let it follow us back to the camp full of civilians?
It's going to come back to the camp anyway.
Yeah. So
We might at least be able to get reinforcements from the camp.
Yeah.
Or,
And we can tell
if it chases us, we can at least warn people. if we're sitting here and it comes back, then we're just gonna have to fight it anyway.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's get ready. Let's actually get prepared this time to fight that whatever.
Well, so if you're done with your turn, let's get moving.
Yeah.
Okay. So your plan, if I understand it correctly, is to take this paralyzed dude back to the camp and warn everyone there that there's
Is
a
there any
many-eyed monster.
Is there any way we can see if this dude is the reason why there's a beholder? Does
Sorry?
anyone have a spell like that to go to good or evil? I don't have that spell.
Okay. No. All I got is protection.
Ezra, can you do a good or evil?
It is not one of my prepared spells.
I thought it was a class feature.
Let's take a look.
I know it's not for me. Oh, you're not.
Yeah, he's
I
a
don't
cleric, not a
see
paladin.
anything.
You're a cleric too. I thought
Okay.
for some reason I keep thinking you're a paladin.
Now, cleric.
Yeah, that's right. My bad. This is what happens when you're all over the place.
I mean, we're not going to get very far either way.
Well,
We're
I
not
would.
gonna-
No, we
Yeah.
got one. I would have gone the other way if I'd known that was going to happen.
Especially if you run, you'll be able to get back to camp within a minute.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You're not that far away. I mean, it's just down through the forest. So you're going to go back up this old overgrown road that isn't really a road anymore, and you're going to head back to your camp there. That's where the guy came down to the water.
Is there a run action? I don't see a. I'm looking at a list of all.
Dash.
Dash. Okay.
That's you effectively running because you're doubling your movement. You're using
it's
your action to move
It's
more.
action. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So is that the plan? You're going to take him back to the... And then what are you going to do? Warn everybody, and then what? You heading back to the bridge to take that thing on?
That's my suggestion.
Well, we're gonna wake him up. Let's wake him up once we get back there. Maybe he can fill
Yeah,
us
if
in.
we can't see, like, hopefully someone will be able to
he
help
will
this
start
guy.
to be able to... He's like, what's happened? And he's like, what's going on? And so he was paralyzed, and he's like, okay, I'm getting my strength back, thank you.
Okay. You think you can walk on your own?
Yeah,
Try to
probably
gently set him down.
not my fastest yet, but I can go.
Can you tell us what happened?
Well, yeah, the horseman came up on the bridge, and so I walked up there, and then suddenly these rays shot out at me, and I couldn't move after that. I just fell to the ground.
So we're not sure if we're actually dealing with a beholder or someone who wants to be a beholder.
A wanna beholder?
A wanna beholder.
Yeah. So, here's what you need to do. You need to tell everybody in camp
Fighter.
to get ready to move. That thing is going to be back in about 45 seconds.
Does anyone at camp other than us want to go back and verify the bridge is there?
Maybe it's not really there.
No, I'm just saying that would be like pushing them in front. But so he can't tell you can't. So there's nothing he can tell us. Other than that he was just zapped. So the beholder's back.
What's going on?
I'm just advancing the rounds.
Yeah.
But it doesn't appear to be paying attention to the clock, so it's fine.
Yeah, because you should.
Dude, run
now.
now.
There he
I know
is.
the villager.
He's like the guy from the Clive Barker movie from Hellraiser at the end.
All right, so you guys will be down here.
At the camp.
How long does your giant's might last?
1 minute.
Oh, so you'll be done with your giant's might too.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us will have anything left. Run into the camp. Short rest, short rest, short rest.
All
Well,
right.
that would
Yeah.
what so
Knowing that
so
my
it would be a good time to heal us, wouldn't it?
What's that?
Wouldn't it be a good time to heal us when we were in camp?
Yeah, if you guys need healing, I can
Yeah.
heal.
I need a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a little bit.
Okay, let me see which healing word or mass healing word. How much?
Healing- Is healing word a cantrip for you?
No, I wish. I wish I had a healing cantrip. Then that's not all I would do, but I'd probably do it more often. I might just do.
Anything that
I'm gonna do preserve life. That's what I'll do.
that's what you have that I don't have because that did
Yeah.
not with a light cleric.
How much health are you guys missing?
I'm missing 50%.
I'm missing 16.
Almost 50%.
Okay. All right. So I think for this one, I can give 40 health. So
Okay.
I will give Kineas, I'll give you 15, and Ozus, you'll get 25.
Okay. I'm at 99.
Almost max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm up to
And I didn't
50.
I know
Thanks.
exactly what percentage of hit points I have.
Okay. So you're giving it a chance to heal while you guys heal up a little bit too. That's good. Good. Next, what do you want to do? Are you going to pursue it, or are you going to
I say
just
we
try to
go
guard
back.
the camp, or what?
I say
So
go
we
back
don't.
and deal
We're
with it.
standing at this. So we come back and we don't see him, do we?
I'm asking. Is that what you're doing? You're going to come back to the
I think we
bridge?
should go.
Yeah, I want to go back to the bridge.
Oh, you want to go back to the bridge?
Yeah.
Do we recruit any help from the camp, or?
They don't really have anyone that's certainly your
Cool,
caliber.
great.
And
No, I was
why
thinking
Can't even get like bait.
is pole vault them into.
Human shields, is that what you're looking for?
No, we
That's
don't
right.
use that.
we can make a peasant's railgun.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what's going on here.
Are you going to go
How are
back?
we going back?
Is the curiosity just getting the best of you here?
Well, I'm not a
Honestly,
cat.
This is an active threat to the public, and we need to deal with it. Jim, as we go back, I want to
Okay.
take out my 50-foot my rope, and I want to tie it around the hilts of both my swords.
I don't see him, do I?
You're going to tie your rope around the hilts of your swords.
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure why, but
Why is that?
Those weapons don't leave
Makeshift
him.
grappling.
Come on, guys.
Like on each end of your 50
Yeah,
feet. So there's 50 feet of rope in between your two swords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's going God of War. That's what he's going for.
I ain't losing these things.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they
So
can
you're just trying to make sure that if you get disarmed, there's like
yeah,
a
if
way
I
for you to
somehow
try to
fall off,
pull it back.
yeah, if I fall off the bridge, I won't lose my sword, and also they might be useful as a makeshift grappling hook.
All right. I got you. I understand. I'm assuming though you have the rope coiled or something in your hand. You're not gonna like let 25 feet of rope go behind you, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's like it's not taut, but
Maybe like
you know,
on one of your arms or something.
yeah, it's like easily removable, but it's still like not just dragging behind.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. Okay, so then it sounds to me like we've really gotten out of combat, so I'm going to end that for now. And um, so now are you carefully headed back to the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cautiously, carefully headed back to the bridge. Very good. All right, so you will arrive at the bridge.
Oh, we forgot to bring pumpkins.
Yep, yep. More heads, more pumpkin heads.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Okay, so you guys get back to the bridge again. The clouds are pretty, you know, very little space in between clouds as they go by, covering the moon now and again. So you're relegated to your own natural vision for the most part. There really isn't any light, so to speak. So your dark vision is there. But remember that dark vision makes you at disadvantage on perception rolls and -5 to your passive perception.
Except me.
Except you can see like it's daylight.
So in other words, I'd have to use the light command to.
If you want to create a light that lets you see with normal perception rolls, yes.
And then when everything lets know where we are.
But then you'll glow, right? So it'd be pretty bright. People could see you. But that's how that works. You want to sneak around in the dark. You won't run into anything like walls or rocks. You won't stub your toe on anything. You'll be, you know. But if, for example, there was a pit trap or something, you might not notice it unless you're looking carefully, which means you're going to slow down a little bit, use your action to use your perception roll, etc., and be actively watching for danger. And then you probably won't fall in the pit, right? Because you'll notice it, that kind of thing. Make sense?
Yeah, I have a light command cantrip.
Yep. So if you needed to, that would give you about a little bit, I think a little bit less than a torch, but pretty close to a torch
So I can
in
grab a
brightness.
rock and light it up and throw it.
Yeah, or you can also, yes, you can do that. You can also light the end of your staff, right? Or light Kineas's helmet or
Yeah,
whatever,
you also
right?
got my
Make him
swords,
stand
which are
out.
So that would
my
be a
swords,
use.
which are moon touched.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a use object. There's no throw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what if I? How far can I throw?
How far can you throw?
Calculate throw.
I think it has to do with your strength and. Oh. So you guys can look that up. That's fine. But yeah, you can throw a reasonable distance. I'm open to all that. Um, okay. So tell me, as you reach the bridge, Caneas has a plan in case he or his swords go over the edge. What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to throw my little rock to about right there. That's about 60 feet. That's possible, right? Given that I've fought before, I'm
Yeah,
in good shape.
probably. Yeah, 60 feet's not a big deal. Yeah, you could probably throw something 60 feet, so your cleric probably could do that pretty easily.
And then it's 10. It's a 10-foot, right?
Yeah, but it's in the spell description. You could probably pull that up. So as you go forward, are you throwing a rock ahead so you can see on the other side of the bridge? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and I've
Li-
tried to apply stuff, and it's just not doing it.
You
Not
just did yourself. That's good.
did it do myself?
You just started glowing.
Did it? Oh yeah, it did, didn't it?
Well, that's funny. Yeah, so I found an interesting little bug. I was on another map, and your icon there started to glow. I'm like, oh, okay, you lit up, but not
Well,
here.
it showed in my stats that I threw it 4 times.
There
Yeah,
you go.
but that's me glowing. I touched the rock. There should be at least an object,
Okay.
so that would be right here. There you go.
All right, so you can see pretty clearly on this side of the bridge now. There doesn't seem to be a floating eyeball monster.
Well, let's proceed with caution.
Ezra, what are your thoughts going after
Um,
this thing?
I wouldn't be thrilled, but I would support my teammates and pretty much just say, guys, we got to prepare for this. We know what this thing is capable of. Let's not walk into this with our pants down.
There we go. Yep. I have a plan to grapple it to the damn thing so we can cut off its wings.
You
That's
want to
probably the
cut off
best
its
thing.
wings.
Yeah, where all the eyeballs are.
What if it comes back as a just a normal beholder? We gonna chop off its eye stalks?
That was plan A.
Try.
Before it
Okay,
became a weird ass dragon.
that's right.
That
Okay.
served Merkel for some
Well,
reason.
now I feel confident. We'll be fine.
Yeah, you reassured him.
Yeah.
And why did that thing serving Merkel?
What?
Did you guys not hear what it said? It said Merkel right before it disappeared.
Did you say Urkel?
No, Merkel.
No,
Oh,
Merkel, the god of was it the god
Mer-
of death, right?
I thought you
Yeah, the
meant
thing that
Urkel, like from the show. I'm like, how did he get in this?
I doubt Merkel's cousin Urkel is going to be
Yeah.
here.
That's right. All right, so are we just moving forward? Are we crossing the bridge?
I would
Yeah.
say that
Yeah,
Tim,
you could do
how
that.
far below is it in the water?
It's only about 30 feet or so. It's not really that far. It's not a majestic giant bridge or anything.
Okay, good.
All right, so you cross the bridge and you find this road very patchy, difficult to follow because it's so old and overgrown. And it winds a little bit around some like hillsides. And as you continue, the moon kind of ends up behind a big cloud bank, and so it becomes very difficult to see, except just your own light. So I'm assuming you're going to keep picking up rocks and casting light on them and kind of
I mean, we're moving
sending it
forward.
ahead.
I
Yeah,
can
you
always
are
pick
moving
it.
forward.
I could always pick up the same rock and throw it.
You can. Yep, you sure can. So that's fine. We're going to shift a little bit to theater of the mind as you continue down the path. Well, this little sort of road, not really a path, but you continue down, and eventually you come to a place where you can see a tower, kind of a ruined tower up ahead. I'm going to show that to you. And let's go ahead and give everyone that level and show players. All right, so you kind of see this up ahead. It's cold, still in the middle of the night, and there is this ancient ruined tower that's kind of been overgrown. It looks like it's from an age long past.
Neat.
Can we identify any of the markings?
Well, you'd have to get a little bit closer to it. You might be able to. Kaneas kind
will
of
go
has a
ahead.
talent for that.
Yes, I will go ahead of the group,
All right.
and I'm also going to take out my wand of secret.
Okay.
So when I get within 30 feet of the, when I get, let's go actually 15 feet, 15 feet away from the door,
Mm-hmm.
I will take out my wand and let it do its work. Are there
Okay.
any traps or hidden passages nearby?
Go ahead and let's see. Is there any kind of roll that needs to be made with that? I don't remember.
No, it just tells me. The wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you use your action to expend one of its charges. And if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points it to the one nearest to you. The wand regains 1d3 expend charges daily at dawn.
And what are you going to use it for?
I'm seeing if there's any traps or secret passages within 30 feet
Okay.
of us.
Because I can open doors from a distance.
So, Jim, are there any traps nearby?
There are no traps.
Secret passages?
There are no secret passages. None that are obvious to you at all. Like, doesn't glow, doesn't stand out. So if they are, they're perhaps outside of the wand's range, or otherwise no longer even considered secret doors because it fell to ruin. Who knows?
Fair. Yeah, mainly just seeing, make sure the door wasn't. Well, the door is not gonna shoot arrows or fire or freeze us to death. So, knowing that, I will get closer to it. Is there anything I can read on the door or on the walls nearby?
Um, there are some really old runes, probably Elvish or maybe Dwarvish or something, but they're not even really like it's really old language. So you can make out that they're like warnings, like do not disturb, busy, come back later. We don't want any. Gave at the office. Various, you know, no soliciting. Kind of. There's no, the opposite of a welcome mat.
Hmm.
Seems to be in it could be Durgar maybe or Drow.
But there's no like, this is the Tower of X, or
Nope. Nope.
well, I see a do not solicitation sign, guys. We better head back and take
We're
all of
not
that
going to sell our cookies.
pile of gold we're giving out away.
Yeah, no cookie selling here. Is it? Well, was that with the door closed? Right, the front door.
Mm-hmm. No, it's open. It's all in ruins.
Oh, okay. So the door's like unhinged and
Yeah, it's like busted open.
okay. And I got nothing to set fires with. Just kind of, no, wait,
So,
Huh.
what do you guys want to do?
well, I mean, we're gonna go in.
Ezra?
Yeah, let's
new guy.
huddle together and go in.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a great idea.
I know it's one of our. It's as good as any of our ideas.
That's right.
Always, yeah. If there's a spooky tower, you go in it. If there's a crypt that has deadly warning signs, what do? You go in.
yeah, you go in.
You ignore the warning signs. And you
Looks a
just
bit
walk right
like
in.
this. Yeah, it looks a bit like this was a wizard's tower from some long forgotten age.
Okay, that is a little worrisome, honestly. I don't suppose any of you have either of you have the ability to detect for wizard ghosts, do you?
No.
Do not believe so.
Ugh. I hate wizard ghosts.
Okay, so you guys are gonna just walk right in. Tell me what you're gonna do. Who's leading? Who's in front? Who's gonna take the brunt of the damage?
I will.
Okay,
Always the brunt.
all right.
That's what I'm here for.
You're the brunt of the litter. Okay, so all right. So you're gonna go first through these. It's a pretty tall building. So these doors were huge, and there is like they were double stone doors, and one of them is missing, and the other is you can see it's kind of fallen back. The stone hinges are broken, so it's kind of fallen back off to the left a little bit, and the other half of the door is just missing. So it's wide open, and as you go in, it is very dark inside, and appears to be even there. You can sense, Kineas, even though it doesn't affect your vision, that there is some kind of lingering magic that seems to make it even darker than it normally would be. So, for you with dark vision, you other two, it does seem much more dim, difficult to see inside here. Extra shadowy.
I don't suppose I can make a history check on this place, could I?
Sure, why not?
My hit shot. I'm a waste
Anyone
of.
proficient?
No, not even. I'm kind of dumb.
Ezra?
My passive history is at 10, so
But you
Okay.
do know how to call down the guidance of Kasuth, the fire of all knowledge.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so we got guidance. Ooh. 14
No, because
and
is not all knowledge. I wish he was. Then
flat out book learning with a little bit of help. That's an 18.
All right, I will tell you that you know that this land, like centuries and centuries ago, um, used to be all like an elvish empire. And
oh,
before that, there were dwarves, and the dwarves held everything. And the dwarves then kind of retreated as the elves um, took over. And so some of this architecture is dwarvish that has been improved upon by elves. So it's quite some time ago. We're talking probably a couple thousand years or so.
I will say
Yes,
all of that except for the word improved. While glancing at Ezra, which has been
That's it. Keeping in your forethoughts the feelings of your companions.
edited by elves.
That's right. Edited. Um, so it's definitely got some dwarvish make to it, and then the elvish decor kind of going on there. So it does look like that these might have been some of the first dwarves that came to the surface, um, and then elves that eventually reached this area of Faerun and settled it and built a big elvish kind of a whole empire in the area.
so this would probably be perception. Did it fall apart because of time, or did it fall apart because of war?
Oh, good question. Why don't you? Yeah, you can do an investigate.
Advantage.
At an advantage?
Yeah, I mean I'm very proficient in investigation.
You do the investigation then,
Okay.
because I'm really at it.
And you're helping him, so go ahead. You can do do you have skill levels in investigate?
I do, but it's
That's fine.
I'm a negative one.
So that's fine. You're good at it, and so you can help the guy that's being proficient, and
Oh,
you
got
won't get in
14.
his way. So go
How
ahead
did
and
that happen?
make an investigate roll, Patrick, and see with
I got a
advantage. And
4. I got a 14.
Oh,
Wow,
all right.
did you not
that's
want me to do it?
unusual.
You're at -1. How are you at -1 with investigate, but you have skill in it?
I don't know. I just know that my intelligence is an 8, so I'm -1. My intelligence is the lowest thing in my character. I have to bring it up next time we
All right. So between the two of you, you guys figure out that this looks like this tower definitely was destroyed. That it didn't just give in to the ravages of time. Some of that
gotcha.
was also part of it, but this tower was definitely destroyed. It's hard to say what destroyed it because it apparently was destroyed at the top. You're guessing that based on the foundation and the size of the tower, that it probably went up another 50 feet above this.
But those remains are not around anymore.
Well, they're crumbled and whatnot down here along the base as the walls fell, but certainly something attacked it. It could have been siege weapons. Not sure how they would have gotten siege weapons up here. It could have been magic. Could have been
Could have been
monsters.
dragon.
Could have been war. Yeah, it could have been a dragon. Mm-hmm.
It's a hard candy Christmas.
Ezra, what do you think of this place?
You said it was Elvish. Speak Elvish? I don't.
It was originally
I mean, I
dwarven.
most certainly wouldn't be thrilled to be here, but it just seems like this place has fallen down around us, and I don't know. I guess we just got to keep exploring because at this point, we can't do it 1 foot out. So,
The sunk cost fallacy.
Well, we've come this far.
yeah,
Might as well finish.
that's right.
All right. So, as you go in, you are looking around inside here, and it looks like just the place is just got just detritus in here. Like it's been so long that there's like some vines, some roots from things that have grown from outside through the walls. The rocks have given way to there's been earthquakes, but there is no way to go up. There's no stairs. There's no hole in the ceiling anywhere. Like, even if the stairs were wood, you could see how maybe the wood would have decayed, but there isn't a way to get up from here. This is it.
How big is the room we're in?
You find some bones, but it's big. It's probably 40 feet across and about 15 feet high to the ceiling.
Then let's take out that goodie but oldie wand of secrets.
Okay. All right. You expend another charge from the wand, and nothing glows in the room.
Oh, so this is truly an abandoned. So we need to look for traps, basically.
No, and those would have shown up too.
Yeah, nothing.
No sign of people making encampments here or anything like that.
Oh yeah, there's some bones. It's hard to tell if they're animal or humanoid, or maybe they were humanoid and animals got to it, right? Or monsters or what have you. So it does just appear to be like literally the place is just flat out ruins. There's dirt in here. There's vegetation. Not much can grow in this kind of darkness, but it is darker than would be natural. It's just not that dark. Like maybe there's some latent magic that would have cast this place into absolute darkness, but it has long since faded, and so all that's left is this little resonant shade inside the darkness you're already in. It's nighttime, you're already in here, it's already dark, but you felt like your dark vision worked better outside than it did in here, right? Kineas, you can sense that there's some darkness, like maybe even some magical darkness here, but it doesn't affect your vision any.
Mm-hmm. So, knowing that, I would look up into the ceiling. Do I see like any holes in the ceiling or anything?
No, there are none. It
And
seems to
is
be
there a way
like,
of
it's almost like whoever built this huge tower that didn't really have anything to do, like nothing was up there. It was like a facade of a tower, right? Because nothing goes up. Normally there'd be staircases, or if nothing else, it would be an opening in the ceiling where some kind of staircase might have stood. But
I
here
didn't
is
remember
just
that.
darkness.
Is so question: the ceiling stone or wood?
Stone. It's all stone. All that's left is stone except for some living vegetation.
Is there two means of egress? Is there's only one way in?
Yep,
And that's it?
Just one door.
And that's that door that's all
Yeah, it's
disheveled.
broken. Yep, so you can get back out, no problem. Maybe this could have been a tomb at some point. You don't see any hint of that. I'm just saying that if you couldn't get back out, this would be your tomb, right? There's no other way out of here.
So could we get the good people of Leylon to come here, dismantle this, and we can sell them as architectural artifacts?
I will give
It's just-
Oz a dirty look. What the hell, man?
Osmond is always thinking of the bottom line.
There's a lot of stone here. It's really old. Somebody might be interested in this.
Maybe we can get the camper. We can camp here for tonight. Again, at least it's going to keep us warm. There is snow on the ground here, right?
Outside, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Not inside.
Okay.
I mean, some snow is blown in, but I mean, it's not.
How many days are we camping? Is this our first night camping?
Yeah, since you left the wayside, yes.
So we can get everyone here and we can spend the night here. It would be warmer. It would be easier to defend. So is it open? Wait, is the ceiling open or is it just?
It's a tomb. It's
It's a tomb.
solid. Everything else is solid. This whole foundation of this building is stouty. Stout? Stouty?
Wait, you
Not stouty. Sturdy.
you keep seeing the word tomb. Where's the graveyard? Is there a graveyard?
It was back by the bridge. I'm just saying this reminds you of being underground.
Okay.
Like, except for that open doorway. If that door was closed, it's exceptionally dark in here. And so even the light, which is hardly anything coming from outside, there's moonlight now and again, but there isn't anything. I mean, it's just dark in here. And the walls are old and modeled by the weather, right? It's kind of rough, but it's not.
Right.
There's a hint that maybe it was at one time or another very smooth, as maybe there are parts of it that are still smooth, and some have kind of crumbled away or given away to the ravages of time. Um, but what's odd is that it's a tower, and it seems to be a one-room tower. That seems really
Yeah.
weird. And it's not even like this is divided up into rooms the way, for example, Thalavar's tower back in Leylon is, right? That had 3 or 4 rooms on the main floor and a few rooms on the next floor, and it got a little bit smaller as you went up, but not by much. It was just this big tall tower, a 4-story tower. In this one, it looks like it could have been maybe 6 stories. It's like taller than Thalavar's tower would be. If it were whole, it would go way up there.
There's no way it looks like we can get up there.
Not from the inside.
Jim, I like
Oh.
to do 2 things.
Let's go around the perimeter outside.
Before you do that, Jim, I like to try 2 things.
Yep.
First, I like to summon a Nea
Okay.
from her little pocket space, and I would ask her to fly up to the top and see if she can get in through there.
Okay.
Second,
Yeah. She tells you when she's up there. She's like, that's interesting. Look at that. Definitely stuff up here. There's like, you know, rocks, of course, but there's also like there's like a staircase that goes down, and like there's stone, like maybe it used to go up.
wait a minute, I'm coming in. Let me look. And so I like to share her vision.
Okay. Yeah, it looks very much like this was one of the floors that's it's kind of down 20 feet or so from where the ruins end. So it looks like there maybe was a floor above that's not there anymore or crumbled. There's some remnants of it, as well as just like a hint of partial staircase of stone that went up. But it's definitely like, obviously somebody topped this tower, right? They just completely took the top off. But yeah, if you have her fly down that staircase a little bit, she can peer down and look in. And you don't have your vision with her, but she does have some dark vision, and she can see, make out that there's just, some ruined stuff down there. There's like just some really old, like random miscellany, mostly just kind of, you know, uh, garbage. It's like maybe they're branches, they're some leaves, and it's just decayed. Like, like things fell in here at some point, and then what you have left is just kind of like what's left over. Some wood that's petrified, because it's been there for so long. It looks like it's just almost finally gone all to stone, that kind of thing. It's just really old, and there isn't anything particularly of interest here.
So why why would someone protect it?
But that, it's just a potential lair of a monster.
So where's the treasure? You just don't.
I mean, like you said, it's warm and relatively covered from the environment. I mean, it might just be that thing's lair. Although, Jim, I would like the second thing I was going to do is
I,
do an Arcana check.
Okay.
And are either of you proficient in Arcana?
I have 10.
no, I'm not, because I'm stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to see if there's any illusion magic in here.
Okay.
So, Ezra, you said you were proficient.
Yeah, I'm at 10. That's not it.
I don't think Oz is, and I'm not proficient. But if you are, that means you can give the help action.
Well, they're not really there. It's you looking through the dragon. So you could use your own skill with that. I'm fine with that, but I don't see a whole lot of.
Oh no, I meant for like the first floor.
Oh, down where you're at? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and I'm assuming, and Oz will give me guidance.
Yeah, let me give you guidance. And that doesn't. Yeah, guidance is a cantrip for me, so it's not an issue.
Big
Okay,
boy brain
23.
time.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you don't know much about illusion magic. I mean, you've seen illusions, but it doesn't necessarily mean you know what to look for. So you
Yeah, I'm not
think
this brain.
you think that you probably don't see anything that would hint that there's any kind of illusion magic going on here.
What's
The darkness that is, it's just super faded. It's like, 1% of what it used to be, perhaps, right? And that is not illusion all by itself. It obviously is some kind of a, like, they have like a, what's it called? Continual light. Well, this is more like a
Yeah.
continual darkness, and it's just faded, faded, and faded over time. It's not ever been maintained or kept up. The magic that cast it isn't there anymore. That sort of thing.
it's just kind of weird that
So it's
you
just
just you
abandoned.
said that we passed a graveyard.
That's back by the bridge,
Can we
which
go
is
look
probably
at
like
it?
a mile back or so, like 15,
Well,
20 minutes walk back.
do you guys want to go back to the graveyard? I want to go to the graveyard and take a look. It seems odd to me that there's this powerful creature at the bridge to keep us out of here, and there's nothing here for us. We're missing something.
I truly have no idea. I mean, it looks like, by all signs, to be truly the most typical of abandoned wizard ruins.
And then we're
Except,
wasting our time here. Then we'll go back to the camp.
So Azus, you didn't you mentioned it, but then didn't follow through on it about kind of looking around all around the outside.
Yeah, I said let's do a tour around the whole perimeter.
Yeah, I don't think you ever did that because then everyone started just walking right in. So do you want to go do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
There's no stained glass, right?
There's what?
There's no. This is solid. There's no other than the opening of the door. This
It
is
looks like there may be some kind of stone windows up or above in the ruined area. Like maybe there was some, could have been shutters on it or something at some point, but right now there's
oh
just like these stone
yeah.
windows way up there. You'd have to climb up the outside to get to it, right? There's no way to
Right.
get to it from inside the one room below. All right, so you're kind of checking the perimeter, kind of going around, and you find back near the back of the tower there is kind of a grating that it looks like it was there, but it's since fallen apart. So there's just kind of these hints of where maybe the grates attached into the stone. So even the metal has rusted away, or otherwise. God, that's how old this is. And it's not that big, but it's big enough that maybe that flying thing could have wiggled his way into it. Um, so it's big enough for creatures to pass through. It's not just like a small sewer grate, but it could have been probably related to sewer or other runoff or something that was going on, or maybe, you know, a window to a dungeon at some point, or something like that. So there's another way into clearly part of this tower that is not, um, does not appear to be um, connected, but perhaps something under it's related. It's underneath the tower.
So if we were to pursue this, we're going underground.
Correct. How you feel about that?
So I get the guys over here. I know I go back and tell them that I found this. Oh, well, see, my investigation's really bad, but yeah, I want everyone to come back with me back there. I tell them what I found. I I go to Kineas and Ezra and I'm like, listen, I found possibly where the home of this little creature is. So, you guys want to come take a look?
Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the way we normally operate when we go underground is we let the people at the camp go first, and we're behind them, and that kind of.
But alas, you didn't bring any of them with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're looking at it. My first question is: does it look like it's recently been broken?
The entrance?
Yeah.
No, no.
Does it look like we can all go through?
Make a perception roll. Yeah, you can all fit through there. There's plenty of room for just a humanoid.
The perception I'm really great at.
I'll give you advantage on that.
18.
Okay. There is, you do see that there is a shred of clothing that caught on one of the sharper parts of the stone, at this entrance, and it's
Oh,
just a small piece.
you know, I
So
had. Okay, go ahead, Finn. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
no, it's fine. You there's a small piece of someone's garment of some kind that caught, maybe a cloak or something else, but it obviously is a lot newer than everything else around here. It's
Would have
still pretty current.
would have had matched the person that we picked up on the bridge after the fight that passed out. Would match any of his clothing?
Um,
Like if I have a brown, if I like,
yeah,
we
it's
took
like
him to
the same color or
take this on, and we found that fabric there. Is there a
no,
match?
but it could be from someone else. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it because the flying thing did not have any clothing on, so
No,
maybe
but
someone
saying
else was dragged
the
through here or something.
bridge, does it match the clothing on the man on the bridge? That
No,
we don't know his name. We just,
yeah, yeah,
Water
Joe.
dude.
water dude, water boy. Does it match water boy's clothing?
No, it doesn't seem to at all. But
Okay.
yeah, he you kind of wonder. So that's the same guy that was at the camp. So there's no reason for you to really think that he's been 15 or 20 minutes further to this tower.
Well, we don't know.
Right.
He went out to get water and he was gone
Mhm.
for half an hour or something. I mean, he could be a plant. Bring us all
Yeah.
out here to be.
It wasn't gone that long because there was just a story being told, right? And so not
Right.
much time went by before you heard him call out.
Well, we could rest up and come back here tomorrow and go down this hole, or we can just forget about it, chalk it up, check, and then when we come back from Netherwinter, we'll have more reinforcements. There's only 3 of us. We've had a day of fighting.
You've had 18 seconds of fighting, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
before
Yeah.
the cleric went goodbye and it disappeared. Totally up to you what you want to do.
Ezra,
I say we-
what are you thinking?
I feel like this is kind of taking away from our main objective.
Yeah.
If we had like a full party, I'd probably be a little bit more confident about it.
Exactly is a full party.
What was that?
What exactly is a full party?
Well, if Zith were here, and because he's doing his own thing.
Because he
So,
would make up
like
the difference of you living or dying going in here.
correct. No, it's more of like he's doing like we're expected to be doing something right now, and we're kind of like being taken away
Yeah.
from that. So he wouldn't know what we were doing right now. He would have no idea. So I don't know if it's like the best use of our time currently.
No,
That's my
Yeah.
thoughts.
I would agree. I would totally agree. I think we should just put this as a footnote and come back here. We should
what if
definitely
someone-
take. Does the fabric have any emblems or anything on it that's notable, or is it just like straight fabric?
No, it just looks like maybe traveler's clothes.
Jim, how fresh is the fabric? Like, is it muddy or anything? Or like dirty?
I mean, it looks like it's been through normal wear, right? So yeah, it could be. It won't be pristine or clean or
I
anything
mean,
like
it's not
fresh
like
from.
it's been out in this weather for weeks. Like, better question.
No, probably just a. You know, it's not. It's yeah. No, I don't. No, it's not like soggy. I mean, it's snowed, but it's not like No, it seems like that. It's not that old.
Here's my suggestion. I will send it. I'll ask Naya if she would mind going through that hole and checking it out. We can set it here for an hour. Get a
A
short
whole
rest.
hour?
Oh, come on. It's not like anyone that camp knows or particularly. We met them just a few hours ago. They don't know us. And we can just see if anything happens. She might find something. She might not.
Um, if we put her in this hole and something does happen, are we going to go in and get her?
Well, of course we'll have to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still one of the. I don't think we should. We should. I agree with Ezra. We should really focus on. We shouldn't go all ADD on this. We should go back to the camp, go to Neverwinter, then come back here on our way back.
But what if there's gold or something inside?
See,
Then we can.
it's getting to him. It's
It
getting
will
to him.
still be there by the time we get back.
Yeah, it'll be there.
To be explored.
It's not that I'm being realistic about this. I want to. Yeah, I would. If if you put her down there and something happens, we're not ready right now to.
What does it take to be ready? You're ninth level characters. Come on. Feel like I'm egging you on.
I guess you're. I guess we're going in today, right?
No,
You could lead.
don't let me talk you into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, Canadian is leaning toward let's go look at the creepy tower, but he'll do what the party wants.
Don't succumb to my taunting. You guys are fine. You want to head back to camp?
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
then...
let's head back to camp.
All right.
Yeah, let's put this as a footnote. We'll bring Zith here. We'll prepare for it.
All right. Sounds good. Then, what?
I'll call Naya back to me.
All right. Yep. She flies back down. Lights upon your shoulder. All right. Very good. So you head back to camp. You finish up. You tell the stories of what you found. Do you embellish it at all?
Oh, of course.
Must impress. Indeed. All right. So, yeah. So then you, you head back to camp, tell your stories, and then you head on up to Neverwinter. You can make it the next day. You'll arrive after in the mid-afternoon. Oh, did you want to stop at Helm's Hold first? There was some talk of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inform them of what we discovered.
Yeah, a little bit out of the way. About 25 miles southeast of Neverwinter, and the high road kind of is not far. It's about 5 miles or so, maybe, off of the high road. So a little jaunt off to the side. Helm's Hold is a city built in a fortress, and it has several buildings inside its walls, and you are greeted well before your 5 miles is walked. You are greeted by a contingent of paladins on horses, and of course they ride towards you. They see you coming, and they basically stop at the road. They have lances. They are clearly well armed and armored. They're carrying banners that are of Helm, of course. These are paladins of Helm, so they are big on justice and might. So they, one of them takes a few extra steps in front of the others, and he calls out, "Hail! Be ye friend or foe?"
Hell, we're a friend.
You could tell one guy in the back ranks goes, "Ah, dang it."
Says what? What does he
Huh?
say?
He looked
What does he-
disappointed. He's like, "Dang it."
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, what brings you this close to Helm's Hold?
We've come to visit and share dire warnings.
Oh, and what be they?
And I will go into the story about what we found about Ulran Mortis, and our belief that he's trying to conjure up an army of the undead in the area, and his connection to the Draco Lich.
Was not 2 decades hence that we were dealing with other undead forces coming out of Neverwinter Wood. So they're at it again, are they?
Hmm. Yes.
Well, tell me, have you taken measure of this undead force?
We've seen we've seen a boat of the damned. Well, well, skeletons, although it escaped us before we could go inside.
A boat. Hmm.
And I will take out one of the journal copies I have. I also have a diary of the necromancer
Ah,
and his
I
quest
see.
and his tomb raiding quest.
Okay, he rides a little bit closer and he says, "May I?" And he holds out his
Of
hand.
course.
All right. He takes them and he lifts his visor up and he looks over them. He goes, Ularan Mortis, eh? This name I have heard. 'Twas just a foolish fledgling priest of Miracle last I heard of his name. I see he has risen to power. Perhaps that evil god shows favor to him.
If you're unlucky.
Where are you headed?
Well, after coming here to spread the news, we plan to head back to Neverwinter to hopefully gain at least some form of reinforcement.
So are these forces in Neverwinter?
The undead?
Yes. We have
Oh,
not heard
no.
of such. I mean, there's the randoms, the little
They're,
groups
they're
here and
mostly,
there.
as far as we can tell, his efforts are mostly staying near the mirror for the moment.
I see.
One of our companions has stayed behind to investigate.
I see. So, all right, then. Well, we shall let the prophet know.
Thank you.
We will be vigilant and seek Helm's guidance in what we should do. We appreciate the good warning, friends.
Yes, and if you hear any word of dire word news from the prophet, we, any word would be gratefully received.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay. Well, thank you. Ride safely on your way back.
And for you as well. May Helm guide you.
They don't take us in. They don't. They just. There's no escort inside, or
Nope. No, they never offered it.
huh? Hmm. So that means we got to walk all the. Okay.
I think it means our business here is done.
So,
Okay.
all right. So they got to
It's
do
kind of
the whole formation and
they check us out.
yep. Yep. So
They
they
give us the
circle you
thumbs
like
up.
riders of Rohan, right? And then, and then
Do
they
we have like a press pass on our chest so when we don't have to check in with anyone, we go right up to the gate and go in and
that yeah they were the gate while it was still
okay.
about a mile away from the wall. They
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they came to meet you. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
These paladins run patrols. They go into Neverwinter Wood, um, some distance, not much. They're mostly covering that whole area around Helm's Hold, keeping it safe, and they're vigilant from all people who approach Helm's Hold. There are watchers on all of the walls, on the fortress walls, and there are some pretty fancy towers that stick up above those walls. There could be people up there that are also giving word, but this is where perhaps the prophet stays, etc. Now, you guys have been here before, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what it's like on the inside of town. Um, they just seem to be very vigilant and running security.
Have any good inns or anything that we can stay at while, for the night?
Yeah. The other guys are with us, right? The whole camp is with us, right? Or is it just
Um,
us?
no,
Stuff?
they did not travel with you. Just you
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
He looks up at the sun and tells you you should be able to make Neverwinter by before sunfall.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Hope everything. I hope you're able to keep the city safe. Goodbye.
No problem. Well, that's what we do. Now you stay on the path, lest Helm's judgment come upon you.
Thank you.
Okay. Follow the yellow
Oh.
brick road.
To Neverwinter, everybody.
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, you enter by the south gate that the high road leads to, and that is closer toward the coast. So if you have been to Neverwinter, you know about the earth moats. That's something you see aside from some of the majestic buildings, especially Castle Never, which stands very um, prominently above the rest of the city. But there are lots of other tall buildings and that sort of thing. It's a pretty big town, except for the southeast part of town. So you're actually entering more in the western southern area, and there are some kind of like outside of town residentials. There's some buildings and such that are still along the high road, but within sight of Neverwinter. And so there's people living there and such on that side of town. And you reach the city gates, and there are Neverwinter soldiers there. Um, Nobody seems to recognize you at first, Caneus,
Okay.
until um, one at the wall sees you, and he just looks at you, and he says, "It's been a while, bounty hunter.
Yes, it has. Guard. Glad to be back.
What brings you back to the walls of Neverwinter?"
Bad news, unfortunately. Got undead wandering around, evil necromancer, dr- dragons, all sorts of things.
Mm. Well, I hope you didn't bring them with you.
Oh, I don't think we did.
You
They
vouch
were
for
much
those
better.
you travel with?
I do.
All right.
Oz just looks at Ezra and he goes like this. He goes, God help us if he's a gambler.
And so he's like, let them in. I know him. That's Caneus, the bounty hunter.
Question: this one?
He's he's dressed a lot nicer than he used to be, though.
Yeah, but a nice magic flow.
Yeah,
I
and
turn
you
my
have plate
cloak away
armor
from
and
it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, do I know that? Like, how do I know this guy? Is he like just a guard I
Just
know,
one of
or
the
is he
guards.
like?
Yeah, just one of the guards. Yep. You don't know him very well.
You know,
And you're
uh,
saying we came from the south, right?
Yes, correct. I was gonna look up a map at Neverwinter. I have one.
Well, there's a couple of them out there, but so that's why I'm asking.
let's see if I can find her real quick, because I do have this little search thing I can use. So let's see if that comes up. Neverwinter map.
Because if we came in from the south, that means we're next to Never Death.
What's Never Death?
I don't know.
Oh, the cemetery. No, that's built in. That's inside the city walls. That is a little area where all of the important people are buried.
I don't know.
It's a
In here,
very big cemetery.
this is like kind of taken back because this is the first time he's ever been. This is all new to him.
Pretty big city. Yeah. So as
Yeah.
you go in the gates, there's portcullis, and then there's a whole gate area, and then another portcullis, and they're both up. But you walk through. It's pretty big. Would certainly fit probably a couple of, maybe 3 wagons each direction if they were fitting snugly together. So it's certainly a large opening in the wall, and the portcullis is very big and heavy. So obviously must have some very good machinery that lifts it and lowers it. There's already town outside of the town. It just isn't protected by the city wall. Inside the city, you find several buildings. It's definitely well built up. This is the southwest side of town has the has the Hall of what's it called? Not the Hall of Justice. That's like the Justice League. It's like the hall, something like that though. It's very much like that. Basically, it's got stairs that go up, and there's fountains, and it's where the Lord Protector is actually. That's where he lives. He doesn't live in Castle Never. It's being renovated. So they're repairing it and such. So he hasn't moved in there yet. And Kineas, you're probably familiar with political reasons why he may not have moved into it yet as well. He's not accepted by everyone as the leader of Neverwinter. But he has been very free with his money to help rebuild the town. He's brought in the Mintarn mercenaries from the island Mintarn, um, and they're not great, right? They're rough, but they've helped to fend off the enemies from outside of town. So they're good in a fight and they're good for defending, but they just don't make very good policemen, right?
Yeah.
Better soldiers than policemen, right? So the town watch, the Neverwinter Guard, those are a little bit more easy to get along with, but they're still trying to keep the peace in the town. And so this is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a difference between being guards and being the local guards and being foreign mercenaries.
Correct. Yeah, they're not local guards, so they don't. These guys are there to protect the wall, and that's where most of them are. But some of them are stationed, like along the Scar. So at some point, 20 or 30 years ago, let's see, it was about 50 years that Mount Hotanau blew up, right? And so that is the large volcano that erupted. And that volcano is what warms the waters of Neverwinter River. Okay. And that's what warms the city as well. It goes out, and the city is built up around that river. So as that happened, half the city was destroyed by that eruption, and the city was really reduced. It was decimated, but not completely destroyed. And so this is the city of skilled hands after all. So they quickly went to rebuilding, but then a large kind of tremor, shortly after, opened part of the city and swallowed up the whole southeast part of the city. Opened this big scar, and they call it the scar in the ground. And things were coming out of it, like undead and abominations and horrible things were coming out of it, and so they plagued the city for quite a while. And the way they were able to get it under control is that some wizards, and I think it was even Daggult Neverember was part of it as well. Within a few years, was able to seal that scar. But that whole side of town is still destroyed, and that's the last. So far, it's tense. It's like a tent city now. The people who can't afford to live anywhere else in the city, they live there, and so it's mostly just like all tents and a little bit more slum oriented for sure. So the river runs through the center of town from east to west out to the ocean. There are earth moats, and these are floating islands up in the sky. There's one that's called Skyhold, and that is been known to be a pirate place. Not it's deserted now, but it was at one point where sky pirates used to operate from. And the other big earth moat is actually like a big hotel. Um, and so there's that, and then there's the third earth moat to the south, and that's kind of a fishing village. And so they have ropes and stuff that go up there, and chains and all that, and so they use that as kind of their little fishing village. So these float up in the city, and they have chains and stuff that help keep them from floating away. So there's lots of things to see in the city. So it's called the Protector's Enclave. I knew I'd remember it. So the Protector's Enclave is where the Lord Protector set up his camp. It was in a big. There's also a huge library there, right? That's the
House of Knowledge.
House of Knowledge is there, and so yeah, there's a lot of other things. There's another kind of hotel that's built into, or there's a bar that's built into into a tower that has ghosts that jump off the tower and are committing suicide all night long. And so this is their ghosts reliving their death over and over again. And some people find that funny to drink to. So there's one of those. So there's all kinds of interesting things here in town.
And we're
Have they wa-
as we're kind of blown away over by this. I would think.
Well, it's
Yeah,
the
I've never
biggest
been to a
city
city
you've
like
been
this.
in.
Yeah.
Well, if you've been to Waterdeep, this is a small town compared to Waterdeep. Waterdeep has hundreds of thousands of people that live there. So quite a few more than here.
How many people live here?
Probably closer to 100,000 or so.
Okay. So what's the
have they walked-
ever seen?
Could be the biggest city you've ever seen, but you've probably seen Waterdeep if you haven't been in there. No, I thought you'd been to Waterdeep. You live near it. Amphale is near Waterdeep.
No, I don't. I think from what I remember, I wrote that he never ventured far from them.
Okay.
I have to take a look again.
So, I mean, Amphale is about as far away from Waterdeep as Helm's Hold is from Neverwinter. It's a day's travel to get there. It's not that big a deal. But Waterdeep is, think of more like London. It's huge. Like, think of like Dickensian London, right? Victorian London. There's almost like technology there.
You know, I've lived close to New York City my whole life. I've never been on top of the Empire State Building or the Statue of Liberty. So it's one of them that you can, just because you're a mile away or 2 miles or a day away.
Right. I live near the Grand Canyon. I've never fallen to the bottom of it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess we're tagging along behind Kineas, kind of like looking at things.
Okay.
That's
So
the way
are you gonna go ahead, Kineas?
As they walk through the city, Kenneth takes a deep breath and shows that it's of sea salt air and the thing of a lot of people being close by to each other. That horrible stench. He's that deep breath,
Yeah, there's
and his body relaxes.
definitely city smells here. There's no doubt about that.
He's home. I'm home.
Now, do we fit in? Is everyone kind of it's completely mixed like in the movie?
Yeah,
And we're
absolutely.
seeing
Yep.
all different races and
Yeah, it'll look very much like what's in the movie, except there isn't there isn't a big coliseum. I'm not sure where that they just made that up. I don't know. It's not anywhere in Neverwinter. The
I thought that was supposed
protectors,
to
huh?
I thought it was Castle Never in the movie. That was the point.
Oh, there is a castle Never in the movie. You can see it, but they never go there.
Okay.
So what you see is this big, like Olympic arena, this huge, massive
Okay.
coliseum kind of thing, where they do all of the where the stones go up and down and all that kind of stuff. And that doesn't exist in Neverwinter, in the canon, which I guess the movie's canon now. I guess so. I don't know. Maybe it does now. So
We
anyway, yes. Do you have a question?
so we enter on the gate that's Protector's Enclave, right? That's where it looks like we're
Yeah,
coming
on
in.
that side. It's on the southwest side of the city. Yeah. hmm a short walk through the streets to get to the Protector's Enclave, but that's yeah.
Well, Kanea shows around.
Around
Uh,
what time is it as we enter the city?
what time is it?
Yeah, like
It's becoming nightfall.
okay, yeah. So probably like most cities, the city does become a different place at night. You know, probably if I'm just spitballing here. You correct me if I'm wrong, but probably a bit more raucous, a bit more dangerous, unless you like you know what you're doing.
hmm
Even for those who know what they're doing.
Well, I take it we're going to get a room somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that first. I mean, we're going like, 10 spot, tourist or high on the hog.
Yeah. So it
You know,
depends on if you want to go. There are a couple of fancy pants places.
at 10 spots where you give someone $10 for a room and you're there for whatever they negotiated with you for.
Do I have any normal places that I would go to like when I'm away from my house, you know, where I would have been living?
Oh, you're
Like
using that.
any like I know I have like a I forget what they're called, like those little tiny apartment things.
Like a
Buildings.
little hostels.
Yeah, that's where I probably would have been living. Like when I was like on a case and I couldn't go home or whatever. Like, would there be like a cheap inn I usually like stay at that would know me?
All right. So I'm gonna pop up this. Do you see the map?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Oh
looking
yeah.
at Dead Man's Tales map.
Okay.
Could I
So this map, on the map, I'll point out what some of these numbers are. So the number 3 on the map, right in the middle, that's the House of Knowledge.
I would have
Um,
to take really spending most of the next day.
yeah, in the Tower District, that Fallen Tower, number 12, is the crazy place with the ghosts. There is the Blue Lake District. It used to be called the Black Lake District. It's now called the Blue Lake District. There is a, a known interesting place to stay called the House of a Thousand Faces. That's number 16 on the map. Castle Never is number 1 on the
What did
map.
you say that was?
House
House
of
of
a
a Thousand
Thousand
Faces?
Faces. Yeah. It used to be like before the city was destroyed, it was a clothing shop. Like it was a big shop of clothing, and so it was with,
Hmm.
places to stay above it that was like apartments or whatever. And so when it was all destroyed, the people who owned it left, but then they came back and they renovated it and turned it into a tavern and inn. So you can go there
Okay.
and eat and drink at the House of a Thousand Faces, and you can stay the night there. Castle Never is number 1 on the map. The Protector's Enclave is number 2 on the map. And then let's see, the number 4, that's the hotel. That's the Moonstone Mask. And that's like a big resort, like a fancy. That's a top dollar because you walk up this whole gangplank thing up onto this floating island, and you can stay in that hotel if you want. That'll be a little spendy. The So number 17, that's what you were talking about. That's the graveyard, the Never Death Graveyard.
Okay, number 7.
Yeah.
Because the one that I posted was a little different.
Oh, it is called the Hall of Justice. Sorry. In the Protector's Enclave, the Hall of Justice is where Dagult Neverember, that's where his current residence is, but where he also meets with heroes to discuss whatever his plans or whatever he needs him to do, or he takes visitors there. So that gate directly south of the Protector's Enclave, that's where you went in.
Okay. So I feel like I would want to have these guys would probably want to go full tourist.
Yeah.
I'd
So
probably take them to.
go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say the Chasm District to the east, just to fill that in real quick. You can see the tents that are in there by number 14. There's a lot of tents in there, and that's actually where the sealed chasm is, so that no one wants to live on top of that. So people are left there to camp if they can't afford to live anywhere else. There is another hotel along the docks that is it's called the Beached Leviathan. So you can go there as well. That's an interesting place. It's a hotel on a ship that's kind of literally run aground and turned into a hotel. Depends on if you're into that anniversary themed room kind of thing.
So, Jim, what is the gimmick for the House of a Thousand Faces?
That it has a lot of mannequins in it because it was like a clothing shop. So they kept all those. They kept the theme of it being a clothing shop, and so all of the windows are dressed with people that are mannequins, and they're all wearing a clothing out of the time period of 50 years ago, before the city was destroyed.
Okay, yeah. And I would definitely say, if you guys want to play tourist, there's some pretty good places in the city to go to. I personally would suggest the House of a Thousand Faces.
I like the title. You're top dog. I mean, yeah, I think you're going to pretty much drag us around to where you think we should go. So.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you guys the full tour. Don't worry. This is the greatest city on Favorite, after all.
And Jim, you're using the Dungeons Master's Guide to Neverwinter. Is that your reference? Okay.
Yep.
I want to make sure that we're talking all about the same.
In all the material I could find, that was the closest, even though that's still 4th edition time period.
I found some guy
kind of into
put everything.
Yeah.
Reddit.
Yeah. So I have I have the whole module and whatnot, but yeah, it's interesting. It's not perfect, but good enough. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
So yeah, so there's a lot of interesting sights to see in this town. Definitely a built-up town, for the most part. So certainly not middle of nowhere towns like you've been in before, like Phandalin and Leylon. So way better than that. This is where when you want to be around civilization and have the protection of being in a big civilization, but also the requirements of obeying laws, then this is the place to be.
Well, let's go get some room and board, and then we'll get ready for this petition of ours.
Okay. So I will take them to the House of a Thousand Faces.
Okay. Cool. So the House of a Thousand Faces is just that. It's like this corner shop. It's pretty big. Um, and so there's inside, there's a fire, there's music playing, there's people eating and drinking and having a good time. So it's not a party place. It's definitely a cut above, but not that big of a cut, right? So um, it's a interesting enough place, right? So um, there is a half elf behind the bar, and he greets you when he sees you come in, and invite you to pick a table, and they'll have someone come over and help you. The waitress will then greet you and ask what you'll be drinking, and um, spout off some items off the menu. They're interesting. There's fish. There are fish dishes. There is poultry. There are, and then of course your choice of, you know, other beefs and such. Um, so there's a good variety of food here, better than you ever had at Stonehill Inn, of course, or even in the Umber Hulk Shell that's now, or the other place that just opened up, right? That was a general store. So as far as eating out goes, this is the poshest place you've been in months and months.
And there's actual menus.
No. The server tells you what they have,
Okay.
what they're serving. Yeah.
Well, I guess we should get our rooms first and then eat.
They also have some
Yeah, we could do
interesting
that.
things. Like they have some booths that have curtains, and of course, people will go in and sit down, and they close the curtains so they have some privacy.
Ganesh, what do we expect to spend a night here?
What do we expect to spend?
It's pretty much like a gold piece a night to stay here.
Yeah, because I'm just looking
Right?
at you. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm kind of excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know, maybe I could actually find someone in my religion. Maybe there's a temple somewhere for me to pray.
Mm.
Probably. I mean,
But right now, I'd like to kind of.
A bonfire somewhere.
Well, yeah, like to get a room where we're settled in or where we're gonna sleep in.
Okay.
but, Jim, as I look around this building, I've probably come here to actually eat under only two circumstances normally.
To
One, I'm in the
celebrate.
middle of, to celebrate a big job being done,
Huh?
or someone let some personal stuff, or when I'm on a job and I have to be here. This is my court.
Right. Yep.
Do I see any? So one of my, as a urban bounty hunter, I had the background feature ear to the ground. You are in frequent contact with people in this segment of society that your chosen quarry moves through. You feel might be associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and tumble folk of the street, or members of high society. This connection comes in the forms of a contact in any city you visit, a person who provides information about the people and places of the local area. So my question: do I see anyone I would immediately recognize as either a personal contact or a criminal, or someone I know is a criminal?
I would say there's a pretty good mix of people in this town. And certainly right inside a House of a Thousand Faces, it's a very good. Um, it's not a lowbrow, rough and tumble kind of tavern. It is, but it's not high society fancy. That would be like the what's it called? The Moon something. the Moonstone Mask. That's that's high society. That'd be like going to a really fancy hotel resort somewhere.
They've probably only been there once.
It's a good solid, but the Blue Lake District is known for nobility living there. There's several mansions. They're being rebuilt or built over the years, so they're still, not in pristine shape, but there's definitely some larger estates here. Have you been to Waterdeep?
No, the first time he left the city was to go to Fandle.
Yeah.
He's been, outside in the immediate area, but never really left the city.
Right. So there are nobility that live here, and they're mostly on this north side of town, and mostly more toward the ocean. So the Blue Lake District is definitely more oriented toward the higher society. But this tavern and inn is definitely well suited to travelers, and it's not just meant for those with thick coin purses. So what you do see is a fair mix. So you pick out some people that you are pretty sure are local nobility, though not high ranking, right? And they're here with friends or other family, etc. And this would be the place that this is kind of like their Denny's, right? So when they want to go to just a little podunk family restaurant, like, this isn't a fancy place. This is, it's not Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It's just an everyday place to go. This would be one place they would go as like an everyday casual stop for them. And so you also find some good sampling of middle of the road people, merchants, just regular townies. And also then you find a couple that look like maybe they don't belong here, or this might be a special occasion for them, or something like that. A couple are kind of shifty-eyed. So you kind of pick out there, these guys might be casing, looking for a victim, that sort of thing. You got your finger on that. You don't see anyone committing a crime. There isn't anyone trying to, cut purse or anything like that. But who knows? If they find the right person who drank enough and then they leave, they might get up and follow them out, that kind of thing. You might expect to see that happening.
While we were probably moving through, I would do hey, greet people I would know, people I've worked with or for. Also, not like I'm starting a conversation. It's like,
you probably are familiar with the bartender. He's probably someone that you've talked to before, not at great length, but maybe while you were sitting at the bar, you were trying to get information from him, and he seems to be very well in the know. So he could be someone you would talk to.
Yeah, so it's like I'm pointing out to Oz and Ezra, stay away from them. They're pretty nice, but they're busy. Don't mess with them. Stay away from them. They're way too rich for us. I'm just like, I know this place well enough that I recognize either people by either I either know them or recognize them by vibe, kinda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm pretty much a kid in the candy store. Like, oh, I know everything about this place. Don't worry.
Okay, so you're the tour guide.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have yourself a meal and you stay the night. Anything else in particular that you're interested in talking about before the next day comes?
Well, I'd like to task at hand and then maybe spend another day. I'd like to see if there's a temple, maybe if we can find out any information, do some sleuthing.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys want to know something,
we're constantly running into the dead, so I'm sure someone here knows something about it. I'm not talking about the band either, so.
right?
You want to know anything? Go to the House of Knowledge.
So let's get the what am I trying to say here? Yeah, let's do what we were meant to do, and then let's go around and start asking questions. Leave. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so the next day when you get up, you can go over to the Protector's Enclave, and from there to the Hall of Justice, and check in with the staff that's there. You ask for an audience with the Lord Protector, and they put you on a waiting list. And they say, if you stay in the area, we will call you. Could be hours. The Lord Protector sees everyone he can, but he, depending on how long people need to talk to him, etc. Maybe quick, maybe long. It's he's the judge of his time. But we'll call you. We announce. They have a large, like a thing they speak into, and it goes roar, and it makes a projects their sound. It's like an ongoing. What's that? You like the Uma Thurman? Kind of like that. They can make a loud noise, right? And so they can talk out it, and it's really loud. And so they let you know that they'd be happy to call your names, the Stormbreakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when it's your turn, we'll call you, and you can come up and wait for the Lord Protector to summon you into his audience chamber. In which case, then he will hear you out. Meanwhile, it will probably be a few hours. If you want to go look around, you can. So, are there any particular places that you would like to go to? There are taxis in this town that will ride you around. If you want to get a ride to go quickly across town, you can certainly walk. There's only 3 bridges across the river. They all basically go toward Castle Never. They don't go in, and the Castle Never has been currently fenced off. It allows workers in to work on the castle, but they don't allow other traffic to go in through there. So it really just matters what you want to do.
I mean,
We go to a magic shop. You want to go to a bookshop, right?
firstly, I mean, my first place we have a couple hours is the House of Knowledge.
Well, I wouldn't mind getting some kind of magical item or some beefed up weaponry. So I don't know if we go to a magic shop first or we'll go to the House of Knowledge. I mean, I'm up for it.
Okay.
Ezra?
Yeah, that's cool. We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. So the House of Knowledge is basically a temple to Ogma, which is like the senior god of Denier, for example. There's a little
He's in your spot.
there's a little side like not a wing, maybe a wing of a wing that's for Denier. But otherwise, it's like a big library, and so people can come in there and read books, and you have to kind of be quiet. And there are stacks and stacks of books, a big library. So you all can go in there and get done what it is you wish to accomplish while you were there. We'll consider that done. If you want to write about it or ask me about it in the Discord, I can issue you a response. Since we have about 10 minutes left for tonight, I wanted to have you go back and meet with Daggelt Neverember. So if there's other things you want to go see or do, uh, make
Yeah,
a
we
note
could,
of it in the Discord, and I'll address that
okay.
in chat between sessions. So you go back and you meet with Daggelt Neverember. He brings you in. He has a flowing beard. It's gone mostly gray. There are still shocks of dark hair in his beard, and he has gray all along the side of his head, showing his age and wisdom. He's probably, your best guess is he is a young 70, right? He's pretty old, but he seems still rather well fit, right? He's not a warrior; he's a statesman for sure, but he seems to keep himself in decent shape and managing his age rather well. He doesn't seem decrepit in any fashion. So he welcomes you in, and he's sitting behind a large desk. So he doesn't like the idea of a throne. He doesn't sit on a throne. He sits behind a very stately desk. And there are sat in front of the desk are a couple of rows of chairs. And so he stands up and he invites you to have a seat in the chairs and make yourself comfortable. And he asks how he can help you. The Stormbringers. I don't recall that name. I think I have heard something of it, but I do. Please introduce yourselves.
Um, I am Aeneas, son of Ulysses. I I am the current leader of the Stormbreakers, and we were hired by you to the auspices of your agents some time ago. With the
Ah, keeping tabs on the outer settlements. Yes.
Yes, sir, to help defend this town of Leylon from any exterior threat.
Oh, Leylon. Yes, of course. Very strategic locations. Very important that remain under our, you know, control and certainly our purview to do so. So yes, I've been spending a great deal of time rebuilding the trade routes between Waterdeep and here.
Ooh. Oz just kind of perks up to that.
Yep. So Leylon presents itself as an excellent place for travelers and merchants to be able to stop safely before they reach Neverwinter, and vice versa before they head south down further toward Waterdeep. I'd like to see larger roadhouses built where there aren't currently settlements, but still working on that. We've got a few roadhouses here and there where we can at least have palisades that hold up can keep the wagon trains safe and secure while their travelers rest from the weary road. So tell me, what brings you up here? You could have sent a missive, a message.
Yes, sir. We actually did send a message a few days before we decided to come here ourselves.
I have not seen that yet, but tell me what was in it.
So I'll begin to explain to him not quite giving him a full update. It's like that some of our adventures, like how we've been running into the cult of Talos, along with the cult of the Dragon Cult and the cult of Merkel. I'll explain to him that the cult of Merkel seems to be working with a Reichel Lich, and that we believe that the necromancy servant of the dark god Merkel is trying to raise an army of the undead, along with the Dracolith.
Wow.
And I'll put in front of him the other copy of the notebook.
See. Now I know where I know your name. You are the ones that were in Phandalin and defeated that dragon.
Yes, sir. We defeated the Cryo thing.
Ah, well done, well done. Yes, that was certainly a plague to the region. And were it allowed to grow any bigger, could have presented quite a danger to all of our citizens. So, well done, well done. I hope you found copious amounts of treasure, but I'm sure it was too young to have amassed much.
There was a few items of interest.
Oh, very good. Of course, those are yours to keep. You don't need to turn those in or anything. That's well, it's, fair and square. Found on your own.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is the copy of the journal that we were able to recover of Ularan Mortem.
Okay.
So we found it on a ship of the Damned.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, it was under the control of the forces of Talos at the time. We were able to wipe
Really,
out them.
a ship of undead
Mm-hmm.
run by storm god cultists. That seems a bit odd.
Run might be it's not quite the correct term. I think conquered would probably be better.
Hmm. So these cultists then are our biggest threat, huh?
Yes, sir. Both the cult of Talos and the cult of Merkel.
And Merkel.
They're the most active threat. So the biggest would probably be the Draco Lich.
Okay. And what threat do they pose to Neverwinter?
Well, they're currently a threat to Leylon and the Phandalin, as well as the trade routes you are currently working on.
Yes, and so you think they want to take Leylon under their control to control the high road?
That is honestly our best guess at the moment. Control the high road.
It does make
Leylon
sense.
Stationing point, kill and raise the town folk. Easy access to the Mirror of Dead Men with all the undead there. And, my best guess would probably be, prepare to siege Neverwinter.
Okay, where is this undead army growing? Have you seen it?
Currently, we haven't seen the undead army itself, but we had, like I said, we saw the ship of the Damned, and currently one of our party members are scouting all the crypts and barrows being investigated by Ularan. We have fought many of the undead he's created. I mean, just the amount is, well, necromancers are a thing to be feared for a reason.
Yeah.
But
So
no, we have not yet seen any sort of massive horde. These are all our best guesses of possible threats to the region.
see.
Our understanding.
Well, I'm glad you lot are down there then, keeping those folks safe. Good job. We've got plenty of things to be concerned with here, though, as well. We've got Luskins causing trouble on the seas. We've got some other issues with trolls from the mountains toward Mount Houghton now. So we've been kept busy here as well. So glad to see you're helping take care of that region.
Should we tell them about the pact we made with the wizard folk of the mirror?
Yes, sir. We actually we assisted the town council with creating a pact with some of the tribe of the lizard folk that live within the Mirror of Dead Men.
Act. Are you sure that's safe? Is that wise?
That's the point.
Those aren't the
I
people.
believe it is
It's working.
the wisest move with the current situation. A mutual self-defense. The town helps them, they help the town.
And it's working. We're coexisting. Which means that your ships coming in could be safer to go south of there.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I am fascinated to hear more about how that goes. I hope nothing goes wrong there. I'm not sure the lizard folk can be trusted?
Well, we we came up with a truce instead of killing each other off to coexist, and there were some misunderstandings, so better not to judge than to find out actually what's going on. We feel
Hmm.
pretty. Is that
That's my phone talking.
okay? Um, Kadesh, do you want to talk about what my idea about the soldiers training in the area?
Yes. As as for the lizard, I believe they can be trusted as much as any race can. In small numbers, if anything goes wrong, they can easily a group of soldiers can easily dispatch them. But they offer a interesting resource in the region.
Interesting, to say the least. I would keep an eye out for them. Be sure they do not become an enemy within.
Well, one thing we were thinking that we do have plenty of space. Do you think it's possible you bring a contingency of soldiers down, or we would like to be the center of where your soldiers train? Then they can go up and down the coast and kind of police.
Well, we do that to some effect already. I know that your guard and Leylon, they have a rotation, so we don't want any of them to get bored or be overwhelmed down there. So we rotate them periodically.
Yes, sir.
I will see what I can do about sending some extra to help.
Well, we were
any amount will be appreciated.
a platoon, maybe 2 platoons.
I'll see what I can get. We don't have many to spare. Perhaps I could send some Mintarns down to help.
Yes.
What if we were to start a branch that could be connected to Neverwinter? Maybe like a Coast Guard. We are the saviors of the coast.
Well, I'm certainly open to any of those things. Like I said, we have a lot of rough and tumble sort raiding the roads to the north of Neverwinter, all the way up to Luskan. For a town of pirates, they're spending a lot of time on land lately, or at least sending people who fight on land. So we've had some trouble there. I've been causing a little bit of trouble. I'm almost ready to send up a larger force that direction. They don't calm it down.
What kind of trouble?
Well, they've been raiding and attacking, basically shutting down any chance we have of getting any real trade. I mean, Port Last is about literally the last place north that they can go. Beyond that, land pirates, sea pirates, making it very difficult to get things further north, like to Icewind Dale. So, I'm afraid I must get on to the next party. Is there anything else before we have to wrap this up?
Should we ask them if they're having a problem with the undead?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not at all, sir. I think we've given you all the information we can and I've sent a more detailed report that should hopefully, if not already arrived, will be arriving shortly.
Okay. Very well then. Sounds like you're making good progress. Well done. And how about you, the quiet dwarf over there? Everything well from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything to add. I'm just kind of like listening in. So.
Okay. Well, very good then.
Set the office on fire. No.
Okay, so then I think that we will wrap it here tonight. And if there's anything else, so you can let me know if there's anything you want to see in the town before you saw Lord Neverember, or if you want to see anything after Neverember, or head back down south toward Leylon or whatever. So we can pick it up next week with Zith kind of rejoining you wherever that is, like back in Leylon or what have you. So I think you've accomplished the primary goal. If there's any secondaries, go ahead and put those in the Discord, and I'll see if I can address them with at least a kind of a result for you of what you're trying to do. I may ask you for a roll or two to see how successful you are at accomplishing that goal, etc. And we'll go from there. All right?
Cool.
Okay.
All right, super duper, guys. Thanks so much. And good job, by the way. The MVP of the combat at the start of the session
That was
Mr.
great.
Banishment.
That was great. I
Saved
really
the
thought.
day.
I've been like waiting to use that for weeks. And I'm like, no, I don't think we really need to. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, that was perfect because we would have gotten our asses kicked.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Aren't they like that? Wherever that dragon, like from the astral realm or something?
Nope. I don't think so. They are. So that's one of the things you want to find out in the House of Knowledge is what that thing was.
I mean,
That could be something you could investigate. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, the reason I asked you, I thought banishment, like, if it's not from this plane of existence originally, it can permanently send back home.
Oh no, yeah, nope. It could come back for sure. Yep.
And I found that link on Neverwinter, so you guys can. It looks like that's the one you're using. It's got a ton of stuff. I mean, really. Read, not spoiled, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So if there's something you want to investigate, or I'd like to see it in narrative form, but also let me understand what your goal is. What do you want to accomplish out of whatever it is you're going to go investigate? Okay.
maybe I'll get my Mastiff while I'm here. So
Yeah.
okay,
All right.
gang. Okay, great.
And anything else?
Just before you log out,
No, I think that's it.
I'm at it.
Okay. Take care, guys.
The cult is near. So I read somewhere that like a lot of they're also kind of information brokers. Of like the fact that anything they've written down, they will have a copy of that, and will if you can pay them to keep it quiet, but you can also pay them to get it. Like they're not evil, but they're kind of. I mean, our whole thing is we spread knowledge. And like so,
Okay.
usually like in bars and stuff, the near people will be like sitting down. You can pay them a small fee for writing a letter or something.
Right.
So that's probably
the short version, by the way, of that monster you encountered. They will have heard of this, and they're basically the dreams made real that beholders have, that have had a horrible encounter with a dragon or dragons, and that dream is their obsession of wanting to have all the power that they notice the dragons have. So it manifests as a beholder dragon, right? So anyway, that's what that is.
Yeah. So things are from our plane of existence. They're the nightmares of the beholder.
Yes, exactly right. Yep.
I'd also, probably look for that tower, but I'll message you in the Discord about that.
All right. Very good. You guys have a good night. Thanks. We'll see you guys later.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.